Hey, what is up guys, Shadow Steel here, and welcome to Railworks Sundays, the Halloween special as I would like to call it. So today, last year we did a Halloween special kind of in two parts, but that was back when I had a crappy graphics card and not much to go on. Today we're doing another Halloween special, this time in one part, but it's one scenario. I found this scenario when I was looking around through the routes and trying to see what I could do for the Halloween special, and this one in particular, called Ghost Train, it's actually pretty interesting. Not much in the way of an actual, true Halloween special, but it's somewhat close. Eventually, I do want to try and do something with the old Halloween route. I do have something in the works right now that will be released for the on Halloween, of course, for you guys. But other than that, there's not much going on for the Halloween special because there's not much on here on this game that is Halloween based. I did think about at one point doing some sort of custom made scenario that I wanted to do called Monster's Revenge or something like that. It was kind of a goofy little idea that I had. I was going to put the Count of Monster Disco steam locomotive on the holiday route that I ran for the Christmas special not too long ago. Yep, there we go. So, okay, good evening there. There are no problems to report at the moment. You should have a clear run to, I think it's Altina. Good luck and don't get spooked. Okay, I'm just going to click that real quick, click this into place, and then turn on my lights, of course. Did I not open the doors? Open the doors. Oh, right. Stupid. I forgot. Alright. So I originally thought that this scenario started me immediately at a station where I had to open my doors. Apparently, I was wrong. Whoa, we're accelerating fast. This is also one of those trickier scenarios for me because it's a German route and I have not run German scenarios very often. One of the lights came on. Interesting. I need to be very careful. After all, this is one of those high-speed routes that I want to be very careful on. Whew. Okay, we're reaching our top speed on the line anyway. Also, I don't have my Xbox controller hooked up right now, so I'm kind of limited on what I can do exactly. Luckily, this locomotive doesn't have that combined power throttle that, ow, that hurts my ears. That is present on, that is actually present on, like, locomotive, that's present on, locomotives like the ACS-64, where it's a variation, a throttle like this, but it also has, like, the dynamic brakes. So if you just lightly try to get it shut down, you actually end up going into like the dynamic brakes and suddenly your train's like slowing down immediately. There's like no way to keep it level without like assistance from the rail driver. So again, this is one of those routes that I just recently got this route too, so unfortunately it was not on sale during the Dovetail Flash sale that they were doing for the for all their content. Oop. There's confusion as the lights briefly flicker and the rear two characters totally lose power. Guard ushers passengers towards the front of the train after you've stopped at Penlenburg. Pull into Penlenburg North for further instructions. Horn. There we go. Ah, geez, 100 miles an hour coming up. So, like I said, I don't have my Xbox controller hooked up, and that's kind of difficult for me because these locomotives are a little tricky to drive without something like that on hand. Whew. I think we can let her coast a little bit. I don't see any problems actually going a little faster, or, you know, getting relatively close to our destination. Oh, we're actually gaining speed. So this is also one of those locomotives that the brakes will, because it's a very simple model. This was back when the game was first released. This route was one of the first pieces of DLC. There's actually going to be a lot of problems with this route long-term wise and stuff like that. But yeah, this is, I mean, I've not played this route very often, but it's one of those little routes that I actually kind of enjoy so far. If you first got the game, when the game was released in 2013 as part of Railworks, that was its original title. This was one of the add-on routes. I think for the Steam edition. The standard edition came with 4 routes, but the Steam edition came with 6, I think. But I don't know. Oh boy. I feel like my train is there's no super elevation on this particular route, so my train, the speed limits are kind of varied. Passenger view. It is kind of a interesting. No blinds. But then again, why do I need blinds when I'm actually driving a locomotive down here? I don't have an ETA. What the hell? Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is not a career scenario. So essentially, I'm okay. I'm kind of okay with with kind of being late. I have to be very careful though, still. Alright, shut down the throttle. I want to coast over the top of this hill and then speed up by just, you know, letting gravity do all the work. I'm noticing, I wonder if it's because of the new update, but there's been a lot of traffic on the roads with these games. If you're wondering why I'm not taking any screenshots right now, it's actually because I actually have a title card ready to go for this. And usually when I make title cards, I usually am recording the episode at the same time, so you have an actual image from the video. Oh, Jesus Christ! That's one of the things I gotta be careful of. Anyway, I usually am recording the episodes as a I'm recording the episode and I haven't made a title card in advance, but for the next couple of episodes, up until episode 19 or 20, I believe, I actually have title cards for every single episode ready to go because I've done those various scenarios already and I've taken tons of screenshots for what I've been doing. Got another train coming by. I would probably need to brake actually up here. If I remember right, there's actually a speed change up here. Not exactly sure how much the speed changes, but I know there's a speed change, and then I have to also be on alert. I want to get us down to about 40 because I think that's the maximum speed by this upcoming signal. So there's our signal. It's got a yellow underneath it. Alright. Remember, the alerter goes off right as we get close to the signal. There we go. Alerter has gone off. I got construction going on over there. Whatever it is. Whatever that's doing. So I want to try and coast in as much as possible before I actually apply the brakes. Like with the... Because there's a similar thing with this route, like as there is with the northeast corridor, not the northeast corridor, the North Jersey coastline, is that this route, these locomotives tend to brake like super hard compared to like their real world. I think compared to their real world counterparts, because I don't think locomotives like the F40PH-2 Cat actually brake that hard. Like when you put the brakes on that North Jersey coastline on both locomotives, the brakes like kick in and then you're slowing down very hard. Like, I mean, if you were, I think if you like put the locomotive into emergency, it just immediately just goes into like I bet if you went into emergency with that locomotive, you would actually end up probably like stopping on a dime because the brakes would hit so hard, and then eventually it'd just be we started applying the brakes. May have stopped too early. At least with this locomotive, I don't think there's actually a braking issue where if you brake too much with the braking system, it doesn't stop right away. There's like a few locomotives that I've been running recently that somehow they don't brake when you command them. Alright, open the doors. Meanwhile, while I take care of this, I am going to switch the track. So... yeah, for some reason I missed this last time, but there we go. That's what I want. Alright. I do love, like, the German steam locomotives. I seem to like, there are three... okay. So, there are several versions. There are, like, a handful of British steam locomotives that I like. There is a handful of German steam locomotives that I like. And then there are the... and then there's the US steam locomotives, which I prefer the most, because they're what I'm most familiar with. But, I mean, German... like, there's only a handful of German steam locomotives available for this game. I think there's like a total of 3 steam locomotives that you can get from Steam itself. One of them's included with this route. And then there is like hundreds of British steam locomotives, but that's to be expected because Dovetail Games is actually based in Great Britain and England. And there's like a handful of American steam locomotives, a little bit more than what there is for Germany, but the American steam locomotives, at least 2 of them, the 844 and the Consolidation, or Connie as many people call her, are actually quite interestingly enough, they are made by Smokebox, who worked on the turbine as well, and the braking physics, and they have advanced modes. And those locomotives are probably one of the most difficult, I guess you could say, to drive in advanced mode. I don't run them in advanced mode, but that's mainly because I have no idea what I'm doing when I'm driving them. I've actually tried to drive the 844 in advanced mode, but because of how the steam chest is set up, I actually end up getting a full regulator because of how it works. Like, he can't actually... The game doesn't allow for accurate simulation of steam chests or stuff like that, at least when the 844 was produced. So when that occurred, when that, set of locomotives, when the 844 and the consolidation were released, that was back in the time where steam chest pressure was kind of vaguely simulated in the game by other developers, like the ones in Victoryworks, but it wasn't a serious matter. The advanced modes, like what is on the Connie and what's on the 844, are essentially very different to what they are meant to be. All right, there we go. Now uncouple the rear two cars. Now we release the brakes and go ahead forward. For a second that actually scared me there. We are heading to the main line, correct? Yeah, that's the main line. Okay. I wanted to double check. Okay, I don't need to press tab to get out of here. That's good to hear. Woo-wee! This is one tough scenario. Alright. Well, technically this is not as tough as it should be. It says it's like a medium skilled scenario, and yet I have actually done everything relatively easily. But then again, I think I've played this way too many times to be to have a scenario that was essentially too difficult for this one. And because it's like a standard scenario, I don't have to worry about scores or achievements or anything. Woo! Boy. This thing accelerates fast, but I'm thinking that's typical of electric locomotives. So... here we go! So our next destination is in, I believe, 6 miles? Double check here. Or 6 kilometers, Jesus fucking Christ. Woo! Moving like a lightning bolt. Oh fuck! I wasn't getting the sense of my speed there and ended up going a little bit higher. However, are we going to be speeding up here? Oh, yeah we are. Hello. I do love German scenarios, and I would love to probably do something more with these locomotives, or at least with German content, but there's just not enough of it on Railworks. The scenario, like, there's only a handful of German routes. There are also like a handful of Austrian routes. I think there's like 2 Austrian routes right now. But naturally, I feel that if they release more Steam locomotives for German scenarios and like get some interesting designs of, like, I would love to run German content more often. There's a ton. There's also some like African content that I hope to play later on this year. So, oh boy, hold on, Jesus. Oh boy. Alright, we're good. Woo! I love how bouncy apparently this railroad is. Like, it's very unmaintained, and yet it's one of the high-speed lines of Germany. So there's our next stop. I think that's the last one? Yeah. Oh, it's not the second last. The second last. Over the switches. Whew. So I'm hoping eventually later this year I do get like an actual rail driver system to be used on specifically on the series. So essentially, I hope, because that system's like $200, and like if I want to make that much of an investment, I want to get everything, at least in the realm of actually playing this game first, usable. Like there's a ton of like content stuff that I need to buy to actively actively make my current setup, which is just the webcam and my keyboard and mouse, really usable. Oh boy. Slow. Alright. Alright. Would you look at that? Just feet from the signal. Sound the horn. Get a cup of coffee. These headphones like to slip off, and it's kind of annoying. Every time I lean my head back, the thing wants to like slide back. One of those things I really absolutely hate. I also noticed that there's no official holding mechanism on this brake set. You click into gradual lap and just adjust to wherever your brake lever is. Alright, there we go. So we got a 100-mile-an-hour speed limit right past the signal. Bam! We're at 100. And we're making good time. At least I think we are. If this was a timetable scenario, maybe it would be actually kind of interesting. That's something I should do. I should remake the scenario as a career scenario, submit it to the Steam Workshop, and then see how people like it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make it a lot more spooky. There's also a few other scenarios that I want to try and design, you know, for use on the Steam Workshop. However, the one route I have that I want to do this with, the story of Forest Rail, I mentioned this on the last episode, or the episodes when I used the route. The one I have is actually of the Just Trains version, which actually came with 2 extra scenarios. And unfortunately, I can't really use that in a sense to submit to the workshop, because it's not classified on my Steam as actually being in there. Because when you make things for the workshop, you have to tag it with specific routes or something. And because I don't have it on Steam, like registered through Steam, it won't actually activate through there. So if I remember right, the emergency brake is supposed to kick in because of a so-called scared passenger. So it's gonna be soon. Maybe it's after this tunnel. And there we go. About 6 kilometers, right? Yep, 6 kilometers. Yeesh, this is a tight tunnel. You'd think this route would have a lot like wider curves just to allow the trains to run at higher speeds. So for quite a while now, I've actually been interested in. I've been listening to a lot of Metal Gear music, like the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Their theme musics are probably one of the best in gaming, the most iconic metal songs that you find in gaming themes. And yeah, the Metal Gear Solid franchise as a whole, I didn't know this recently, but the Metal Gear Solid franchise actually has a total, I think, of 4 PC releases. Oh, there we go. You hear a faint scream, and the train shudders as the emergency brakes activate. A passenger must have pulled the emergency brake cord. Wait for further instructions. Alright. So, the funny thing is, many people probably don't know this, but Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 were released on PC back when they first came out. And then you, of course, have Metal Gear Solid 5, Ground Zeroes, and Phantom Pain, also released on Steam. But the fact that those 2 first entries of the franchise were released on PC a long time ago and have yet to be remade on Steam, or released on Steam, rather? Okay. A frightened ghost hunter pulled the cord after seeing a shimmering figure in the window. The guard calmed her down by reasoning it was her reflection, but she is anxious and needs to disembark at Altena without further delay. You are clear to continue. Now, of course, I have to wait till the train comes to a complete fucking stop. There we go. Alright. There we go. Oh, wait. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, we're not probably going to get the other Metal Gear games on PC, especially on Steam, because of what happened with Kojima recently. But, yeah, it'd be kind of nice to see all of the Metal Gear Solid games, excluding Rising. I don't know why that was made. Or, for instance, I really don't like the so-called full Metal Gear Survive, which supposedly is supposed to capitalize on what Call of Duty has kind of overdone for the past, I would say, 5 years now, which is the zombie modes. But yeah, it's just, I mean, what are you gonna do? This seems to be one of those times where games like, I'm getting into new games, but at the same time, I don't want to lose what I originally had. Oh, jeez. Any higher on a bounce than I could actually have the train jump off the tracks. Oh boy. Oh, jeez. So that's going to be a steep grade, and we're going to suddenly get a speed up real quick. There it goes, there it goes. Apply the brakes. Release. We don't need to apply the brakes right away anymore. Just have to wait a little. Oh, it's... What the hell? We're still going downhill? Interesting. Go. Alright. Well, this is interesting. well, we're actually already done with the scenario. I've only been playing for about 30 minutes. That's actually kind of interesting. This is probably one of the shorter episodes this season. So, if I remember right, I wonder if the next signal, like right at the edge of the platform, is red. Because sometimes what developers would actually do, or at least in game, they would try and make a red signal at the last station. You saw on the the D-Day preparations, is that they actually had a red signal up ahead because they blocked it with another train. Okay, so we got to clear up ahead. Whew. I wonder if also the removal of the other two cars actually helped out with how long the train is, because some railroad, like in some areas of the world, shorter trains are more common because there are more trains, because there are more frequent trains in use. I mean, in the United States, oh! The hell? How did I go into emergency? I went into emergency! Somehow I must have clicked something. At least it didn't deduct any points right away. Or, why am I saying that? There's no points to deduct in this scenario. I'm just coast her in as much as possible. There we go. Easy does it. Easy does it. There we go. Unload the passengers and we should be good. Yeah, it fits perfectly on the platform. Go to where the train. There's the end of the platform. Front of the train that fit. I guess that's one of the reasons why we dropped off the cars. What in the world is this? Huh. I wonder if that's really a thing. Oh, it disappeared. Oh, hello. Well done. You've arrived at. I swear I can't read that. On time, and the scared ghost hunter disembarks with her worried friends. Hope you didn't get too spooked. Oh. Alright. Alright, so like and comment down below. Subscribe if you guys want more. And I will see you guys in the next episode.